All right, today we're going to talk about a powerful and maybe a little misunderstood tool for real estate investors. It's called the Delaware Statutory Trust, or DST for short. Honestly, think of it as a secret weapon for anyone who's looking to defer taxes, finally ditch those landlord duties, and still keep their money growing in real estate.
Okay, so let's just imagine for a second. You've just sold an investment property. You timed the market perfectly, you made a fantastic profit, and now you're seeing those numbers hit your bank account. Feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Of course it does, for about 5 minutes. And then, almost immediately, these two massive clouds start rolling in. First, how much of this awesome profit is about to get eaten up by capital gains taxes? And second, how am I going to find another good property without completely losing my mind in the process?
And that right there is the classic real estate investor's dilemma. You're staring down the barrel of a huge tax bill on one side, and on the other, you're just tired. You're feeling that burnout from years of being an active landlord.
I mean, let's be real. Investing in real estate can be incredibly rewarding, but managing it can be absolutely exhausting. It's the late-night calls, the surprise repairs, the drama with tenants. It's what we all call the toilets, tenants, and trash problem. It's a massive drain on your time, your energy, and frankly, your sanity.
Now, look, most savvy investors know about the 1031 exchange. It's the go-to play to solve that tax problem, and it is a fantastic tool. But it comes with its own set of challenges, especially when you're trying to solve the management problem at the same time.
So, just as a quick refresher, Section 1031 of the tax code is pretty amazing. It lets you take all the money from a sale and roll it right into a new investment property, kicking that capital gains tax bill way down the road. The key phrase here is like kind. But see the problem? It doesn't solve your management headaches. You're just trading one property for another.
And here's the real catch. The IRS puts you on a stopwatch, and it is tight. The day you close your sale, a timer starts. You have exactly 45 days to officially identify your potential new properties, and you have to close on one of them within 180 days total.
I mean, that 45-day clock is ticking, and it is loud. It forces you into this frantic, high-pressure scramble. And what happens? You often end up overpaying for a property, or even worse, settling for something that's not quite right just to beat the deadline. You might just swap one set of landlord problems for a whole new set.
Okay, but what if I told you there was a way to have your cake and eat it too? What if you could use the 1031 exchange, defer all those taxes, and get rid of the landlord headaches for good? Well, that's where this thing called the Delaware Statutory Trust, or DST, comes into play, and it is a truly elegant solution.
So, what on earth is a DST? Don't let the formal name scare you. It's actually a pretty simple concept. It's basically a legal trust that owns one or more really large, high-quality properties. And you, as an investor, can buy a small piece, a fractional interest in that trust. So you get to own a slice of some amazing real estate, but a professional management firm handles everything.
Now, you might be thinking, is this legit? Is it IRS approved? And the answer is a big yes. This right here is the golden ticket. Way back in 2004, the IRS issued Revenue Ruling 2004-86, which basically said that an interest in a DST counts as real property. That made it the perfect like-kind replacement for a 1031 exchange.
I mean, just look at the contrast. It's night and day. On one side, you've got the constant, nagging headaches of being a landlord. On the other side, you trade all that in for truly passive income. Instead of having all your risk tied up in one single building, you get built-in diversification. And when it's time to pass things on, it's not a complicated building. It's simple, easy-to-divide shares for your heirs.
You see, a lot of people get drawn in by the tax deferral, and hey, that's a huge deal. But the real magic of the DST, the real payoff, goes so much deeper than just taxes. This is about changing the fundamental way you own investment property.
Benefit number one, and this is the big one for so many people, the income is truly passive. I'm not talking kinda passive. I mean, a professional sponsor company finds the deals, gets the loans, manages the tenants, and handles every single operational detail. Your job is to check your bank account for the deposit. No more calls about leaky faucets. Ever. Next up, you get instant diversification. Think about it. Instead of dumping all your proceeds into a single new property in one town, you can split those 1031 funds. You can put a piece into a DST that owns apartment buildings in Texas, another piece into medical offices in Florida, and another into industrial warehouses in the Midwest. Your risk is spread out.
Okay, this next one is huge. It's about access. Let's be honest. How many of us can just go out and buy a brand new 200-unit Class A apartment complex on our own, or a massive distribution center leased to Amazon? A DST pools money from many investors, giving you access to a quality of asset that's normally reserved for huge institutions. And finally, let's talk about legacy. This is where DSTs can be an incredibly thoughtful tool for your family. When your heirs inherit your DST shares, they get what's called a stepped-up basis. In plain English, that means their capital gains tax bill could be completely wiped out. Plus, dividing shares among your kids is a whole lot easier than making them co-own a single building.
All right, so I know this all sounds pretty amazing, almost too good to be true. And it's really important to remember, this isn't magic, it's a sophisticated investment. So before you even think about jumping in, there are some really important details to know, and you absolutely need a professional team in your corner. So how does it actually work? Well, the process itself is surprisingly straightforward when you have the right people guiding you. First, you sell your property. But, and this is critical, the money doesn't go to you. It goes to a neutral third party called a qualified intermediary, or QI. Then, the QI uses those funds to buy the DST shares on your behalf. You never touch the money, and the whole exchange is complete.
Okay, a quick note on tax time, because this question comes up a lot. You might be used to getting a K-1 form from a partnership. This is a bit different. Because a DST is a grantor trust, the IRS sees you as a direct owner. So instead of a K-1, you'll get a simple grantor letter with a summary of your share of the income and expenses. You report that on Schedule E of your tax return, just like you would any other rental property.
Now, no investment comes without risks, and it's super important to go into this with your eyes wide open. DSTs are no exception. For one, they are illiquid. You can't just sell your share tomorrow if you need cash. The hold periods are long. They're also generally only available to accredited investors. And of course, you're still invested in real estate, so you're subject to the ups and downs of the market. Due diligence is everything.
So, what's the single most important takeaway from all this? It's this: do not go it alone. This is not a DIY project. A successful DST exchange is a team sport. You need that qualified intermediary to handle the transaction, a sharp tax advisor who gets it, and a financial advisor who can help you research and pick the right DST offerings for you.
So let's wrap this up. A DST 1031 exchange can be an absolutely incredible strategy. It's a way to hit the trifecta: defer your taxes, generate truly passive income from top-tier real estate, and make things so much simpler for your family down the road. But its success all comes down to doing your homework and having the right experts on your side.
And that really brings us to the final question. And this one's for you. As you think about your own investments, your own life, what's more important to you right now? Are you ready to trade the grind of toilets, tenants, and trash for the freedom of being a passive investor? A DST might just be the tool to get you there.